guys, it's Deb here with JS Hobbies and Crafts and Creative Life. I just want to say thanks for subscribing and thanks for all your lovely comments. And so today we go ahead and start our another Christmas album, you guys, and it is with this beautiful, beautiful paper by Simply Vintage, or not, by Simple Stories. It's called Simple Vintage Christmas. So I did not a tutorial, a video showing you guys all of the wonderful goodies that we're going to be using with this paper. And I'm so excited to get ready to get started. So we will be using to embellish our book with the Simple Stories chipboard stickers, the Simple Stories bits and pieces, the finishing accents, and I had to take those out, you know, and look at them. So aren't those so stinking cute? So yay! And then we're going to be using these clear stamps for some messages and things like that throughout our book. We're also going to be using this beautiful rhubarb stock memento ink. And then we'll be using some magnets, and you'll need 10 magnets, okay? And you can find these over at JS Hobbies and Crafts, and they're awesome magnets, you guys. I love them because they're so super thin, and they're awesome. So they're just really, really good. So love those. So that's what you will need to make or to embellish your book. To create your book, you're going to need 2 stacks of the Simple Stories paper collection that are 12 by 12. There's 59 pieces in here, and it does come with a sticker sheet, you guys. So not only will we have the other items, the chipboard and accents and all that, and the ephemera, we will also have some stickers from here. And then you also have some beautiful, beautiful graphics in this paper line that you can fussy cut if you wanted to do that, if you like fussy cutting. Okay. Then you're going to need chipboard. So I went ahead and cut out my chipboard already, and I will tell you the measurements in just a minute. You will also need some Tyvek, and I usually don't use Tyvek on my smaller albums, but this album is going to be quite large, so you will need some Tyvek on this one, okay? And then, and the Tyvek size is just a regular envelope size. You'll just need one of those cut in you know, cut it in half or whatever, just the long envelope size. Then you will also need your craft cardstock paper or whatever you choose to use, whether it's black or red or whatever. I love this paper. It is Heartfelt Creations craft cardstock, and you get a 10-pack for, I can't remember the price. I think it's either $6.99 or $13.99, I think, but it's awesome cardstock, you guys. I love it. Seriously, it is so awesome. And for the price, it's really, really good. So you get 10 sheets in here, and it's awesome. Then I'm also going to be using the Smooth Texture Coordinations Premium Cardstock. It is the Crafty. You get 50 sheets, and it's 8.5 by 11. So we will be using some of these for our pages, okay? So that is what you're going to need. Now you will be covering your book with this 10 by 10 paper, okay? So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need your Tyvek, okay? And you're not going to cut it down to size. We're just going to leave it at that envelope size. You're going to go ahead and cut your chipboard. Your spine is going to be a little bit larger, but that's okay. This book is going to be 9.5 by 9.5. So your spine is going to be 3.5 by 9.5. That's the cut you're going to need, okay? Then you're going to need 2 chipboard pieces that are going to be 9.5 by 9.5. All right, and let's go ahead and get started. So first, we're going to go ahead and use our Tyvek on this here, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and use some of the score tape that you can buy over at JS and Hobbies and Crafts. This is the 1/2 inch, and I like using the bigger tape. I always use the 3/8 inch. That's just my go-to, and then the 1/4 inch. You know, it's up to you. If you can get the 2 inch, they even have this in a 1 and a 2 inch too. So if you wanted to get that, you could do that. So I'm going to go ahead and cover the back of this. Okay. And so we're just going to go right along side down here. Now, if you have sheets, you are more than welcome to use the sheets. Okay. And because our book is a little bit bigger, like I said, it's I'm going to use the Tyvek to just make sure that it's strong enough. You know, you don't want it to fall apart later. So that's why I'm using the Tyvek as a extra security to make sure that it will stay together over time. So, okay. And there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and burnish that in real good. Okay. And then if you have any little pieces on the ends here, just grab your scissors and cut those off. I've got some stuff stuck to my scissors. I was cutting some stuff that was sticky. So let's see here. No, it's on my nail. Okay, I can't get it off. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut that down. Okay, and I'm just cutting off the little end pieces there. Okay. Here, you can cut that off, but usually what I do, if I have a little bit like that, I just fold it over, you guys. There's no harm in just folding it over. When I have stragglers on the top, sometimes I'll fold it over or I'll just cut it off. Okay, so this is going to go right in the middle here. Okay, so we go right like that. Okay. All right, and then for these two, they are going to go on the sides here. Okay, just like this. And I'm going to put the 1/2 inch tape around this way. And I'm just going to fast forward through this part. We've got our tape done on the back. I went ahead and peeled my tape off, and then we're going to go ahead and put this on. So usually what I do is I grab my ruler and I line it up to the end of where my the edge of the spine is. Once I lay that down, okay, I butt that up right against that spine area. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my thing here, my chipboard, and I'm actually just going to lay that right on the edge there. Okay, making sure that it's like butt up against there, and making sure that everything is lined up good. So I'm going to bring this down just a bit. Just like that. Okay. And I'm not going to press down yet until I know that it's lined up, and it is. So I'm going to go ahead and just push that in just like that. Okay. Now you don't want to push this part in, so I lift it up, and because we're going to cover this part and that part, I don't want to get sticky yet. You could also take off part of your tape. I didn't think about that till just now, but you could leave part of your tape on, okay? And I'm just going to bring this over and burnish that in with my hand, and it pretty much catches. So so now I'm just going to go ahead and put my arm back here, just kind of burnish that in just like that, okay? Now lay that back down. Now I don't want, remember, you don't want to like press on this yet, okay? Bring my other one over because we still need that sticky part for our album. So I'm going to bring this over here. Again, line my edge of my ruler up with this part here, okay? The edge of my spine. Push my ruler to the end of that spine there, okay? Bring over my 9.5 inch chipboard, and I'm going to lay that down, okay? I need to move that out of the way. Whoop. Okay, just like that. And I'm just going to fill to make sure that it's even with that, and it is. And then I'm going to press down on this side here, okay? I'm not going to press down on my other side. And I'm just going to go ahead and burnish in this side of that, and I'm going to bring this in and burnish this in here, just like that. Okay, and then after we do that, then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and fold this part in here just like this, and this part you can use your glue, okay? And what I do here is I'm going to go ahead and just bring in my little burnish scraper, and I'm just going to go right on the edge as I'm bringing it up. I'm just going to go right on the edge, kind of burnish that into the chipboard, okay? And I'm just going to go ahead and go along the seam there, okay? So now I can just go ahead and add my glue. And the glue that I'm using today, you guys, is the Ultra Bond iCraft glue. You can find this over at JS and Hobbies. And I just started using this glue, you guys. It's so awesome. Oh my gosh. It is super awesome. You guys will like it, okay? I'm serious. I know that we've always used art glitter glue, and I love art glitter glue, but I like this glue too, you guys. Really nice glue. I love the fact that it comes with a little cap, so after you use it, it doesn't clog. You know, I mean, of course, you know, it kind of gets dry up on top. You can always use a little pin like I just did to seal that. But I mean, it's just really super nice. And of course, here we go. There we go. Okay. So, of course, you can use a pin to unclog it. Okay. Whoop. Sorry about that. But I really like this glue, and I'm just putting it right here on the ends. Okay. Right here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of it right there. Okay. And then in the upper part right there. And I'm going to bring this down. Okay. Just like that. And I'm just going to burnish that in, you guys. Okay. And Need a little wipey for my excess there. Got carried away. Oh, okay. So, all right. And then we're just going to let that dry for a little bit. Okay. And bring that in just like that. All right. And then here we're going to do the same thing. So we're just going to go ahead and put glue here and along the edge up there. Okay. And I'm just going to smooth that out. This glue, you don't have to use a lot of it, you guys. Seriously. It goes such a long way. It really, really does. It really goes a long way. Like a little bit goes a long, long way. So, in fact, I'm actually putting way too much on. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of glue just to kind of get that down. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and cut our papers to go ahead and cover it. And then I will be right back. Okay, guys, back. So to make sure that our 9.5 by 9.5 inch book is covered thoroughly, okay, and if you noticed when you lay your book down, okay, you kind of don't have enough paper with your 12 by 12. Even if you have two 12 by 12s next to each other, it still falls short a little bit. So I added one extra piece of 6-inch by 12 paper to the end, okay, to the end of the book. So that gives us almost about 1.5 inches here and like maybe 1.5 inches here on the edge of our books. So when we wrap it, it has plenty to go over. And then it gives us about 1 inch to about 1 inch, I think, from on the top and the bottom here. Maybe a little over 1 inch. But, so that's what you want, okay? So to go ahead and wrap this, what we're going to do is we're going to put tape here, okay? So we're going to link these two together, and these are 12 by 12s. Okay, so you're going to link your 12 by 12 pieces together. And then on this one, which is your 6 by 12 inch sheet, okay, you are going to go ahead. So these two will be linked together here, taped together like we usually do. And then this one is actually going to go on the back side of this. And we are going to put this about a couple of inches into the back, okay? Because when we lay our book down here, the reason why I'm leaving about 2 inches in this part here is because when you lay your book down, okay, here's our spine right here. It's going to fall right here, okay? It's going to fall right where that crease almost is. You're going to push your book over a little bit, so at least that that seam isn't hitting right in the crease of your album right here. Okay, you don't want it to do that. You want to at least push that over just a bit, okay? And you don't want this right here, this seam, to show on the outside of your book. So we're going to push this in a little bit so that way when we fold this part, it looks all uniform and it so it doesn't have a seam or anything on this end part, okay? So so it'll be covered nicely. All right, so in order to do that, you're going to go ahead and put your tape here, okay? And I am going to go ahead and use a 1 inch, or I mean not my 1 inch, my 1/2 inch score tape. So I'm just going to put that right there on the edge of my paper. Okay, just like that. All right. And I'm just going to make sure that that's burnished in really good. Going to go ahead and take that out. I'm going to go ahead and put this piece over this. So what I do first, I usually line up the edges first, like I know where my tape is, and so I'll try to get it on there as close as I can to the edge of that tape so it doesn't show on the seam here. Okay, just like that. Then what we're going to do is you're going to go ahead and put, depending on your tape that you're using, whether it's a 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch, or a 1/2 inch, you're just going to go ahead and put 2, or maybe I'll put, let's see here, 1 second. We're going to put 3 1/2 inch tapes close together. Okay, so that would be about, I think, okay, let's see. So you put, so you'll need about 1.5 inch of tape right here. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. That gives us plenty, I think, and I think it'll be a strong enough hold to hold that on there. And then I have some on the edge here. I'm just going to go ahead and clip off. Alrighty, just like that. And we're going to go ahead and take these off. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and grab my paper. I'm going to try to see where the edge of that tape is right there. And that's where I'm going to put my paper on. Okay. And just get that close enough down to that edge there. Just like that. All right. And I'm just going to burnish that in. Okay. So, okay, guys. Well, I got to go. I will be right back. All right. Okay, guys. So, okay. So once you get your 12 by 12 sheets together, and then on this paper here, you are going to go ahead and cut this at 3 3/4 or 4 inches, okay? And then you're going to go ahead and put a 1.5 inch strip of tape, I believe, on that. Yeah, so 1.5 inches strip of tape. Adhere it to the back. So you're going to have a piece, 2 pieces that overlap the middle part. Okay, and then this middle section is going to be have a seam on either end of that. Okay, in between those two, in the middle. So, okay, and then so for all the way around, I want to leave at least about an inch to about 1.5 inches around my book. Okay, so with my tape, even though I took my tape off, I'm going to go ahead and measure where I need to have my book. Okay, and that looks about right. right there in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of, and I think that that's about right, because you don't want your seam, okay, on this end here. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in just a bit for you guys. Okay. Don't know if you can see that seam or not. So the seam is right here. Okay. This is where I stuck the 3 3/4 inch paper, and I stuck the middle sheet on top of that. Okay. And you want that seam about a 1/2 inch from the edge of your book right here. And then you want your seam here. Okay. Again, this is the middle cardstock, the 12 by 12, that's going to be taped on top of this 12 by 12. Okay, so you can have a seam here and a seam here, and you don't want this seam right on the edge of your spine right here. You want it a little bit over. Okay, which is great, and I have that. So to go ahead and lay this down, you can go ahead and grab your glue and put your glue. You can grab your glue and just go ahead and, well, first we're going to tape this part here. Okay, sorry about that. So we're going to have to tape this part. So let's go ahead and put tape on top of here. Okay. And I'm just taping the Tyvek. I'm not taping the other part because that part is already taped. Okay. And this is the back of our book, or the back of the book. And sorry for my sniffles, you guys. I think my allergies are acting up again. So now this is not in the middle of my spine. Okay, so I'm not putting my tape on my spine seams right here. Okay, you can put it right next to it, but you do not want to put it on your spine. No. I think it's on there crooked, so I'm just going to lift it up and kind of make sure that it's not on there crooked. I think that's right. So I don't know, it just looked crooked to me. I don't know why. Okay, so there is that part. All right, so then here I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there so that one will stick down. Okay, and as you can tell, that glue really does work, you guys. See how this is stick down? Now I didn't put it all the way to the end there, but seriously, this glue works so good, you guys. Once it dries, it's on there for like life. So look at that. It's on there. Okay, so now to do the ends part, the corners and everything to wrap it. So how I wrap mine, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. Okay, and how I wrap mine is I use my bone folder. So let me grab my bone folder. So I grab my bone folder, okay, and I go up and down on my edges here like this. And I go ahead and go all the way across too. So that kind of gives me like a little line. And I know a lot of people cut theirs, like they leave that 1/8 inch or so little corner right there. And I used to do that like that, but I actually do it a different way now, and I kind of like this way. So I go ahead, and once I have this kind of scored with my bone folder, I lift up, okay, and I fold it over just like this, okay, and I go ahead and press my bone folder to the edge of my book just like this, okay, increase it, okay, and then I do the same here. I bring this up, okay, I go ahead and I crease it. I just press the paper into the chipboard, okay, and then I can go ahead and kind of fold it. Now this is going to be a little bit tougher because we added that double piece of paper right there, so that's okay. All right, and then same thing here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this part up, press my bone folder into my chipboard right here, okay, and kind of fold it over, okay, and I'm going to do that all the way down. So just doing this part here, again, pressing it, folding it over, okay. Now you can do yours however you usually do it. If you want to try this part, you can try this way. I just like it. I mean, to me, it just, for me, it works better. Everybody has their own way of doing it. Mine, I just feel like mine works better this way. Okay. So, okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and score this side. I'm just kind of going up a little bit. Fold it in. Kind of squeeze the paper to the chipboard here. Just kind of form it. And then you're going to go ahead and crease it down. Okay. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. So then now you should have these 4 little things here, just like that. All right. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and grab your scissors. Okay. And here you're going to just cut in right to that little where it crisscrosses. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then you're going to get a little square like this. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and just kind of angle in a little bit. Okay, I don't angle in a lot, just a kind of a little sliver. Just a little sliver. Okay. okay? That way, when you cover your book, it's going to cover that area right there, okay? So that's how I do mine. Everybody does theirs different. Now, if you wanted to, you can definitely angle in a little bit more. It's totally whatever you're comfortable with. So okay, so when I cover it, it has my nice little, my corners are covered completely, okay? So there we go. So now we can go ahead and we can cover our book. So you want to go ahead and grab your score tape, and you can put your score tape on the ends here, okay? And then you can also use your glue if you wanted to do that. And I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward. Okay, all right, so we've got our tape on the ends of our item. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just, again, crease this. I'm bringing this up to the edge of my chipboard, okay, and I'm just laying the paper a little bit tight against the chipboard, but I'm not laying it down yet. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my little scraper, and I'm just running it through there so it will fold over nicely, okay? Especially since we have this, we kind of doubled the paper in certain areas, so you just want to make sure it lays nice, okay? So okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take off my tape here, okay? And I'm just going to put some glue down there, right on the edge here, okay? All right, and I want to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and push up, okay? And I'm just laying that down. So just like that, okay? And then you can go ahead and you can use your bone folder to kind of set your creases in. Okay. Right, so there are those. And then again, you can go ahead and get your bone folder, make your creases. And then you can bring in area, and I didn't put enough glue down, so I'll probably have to glue that. Oh wait, there it goes. It's catching now. Okay, so there we go. So then you can just go ahead and burnish that in. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and do this side here. Oops. I keep grabbing for my art glitter glue, you guys, because I'm so used to using it. But I want to try this one. This one is awesome. I mean, I really, really like it. I had to try it out right when I first got it. Of course, you can get it over at JS Hobbies and Crafts. Super awesome glue. I've not had any problems with it at all. Now, it is a little bit different consistency than your art glitter glue. It's kind of like a gel glue, but it's really nice. Like I said, it dries clear, so you don't have any problems with anything like that. So okay. Again, we're just going to bring this over and up. Just like that. And then I'm going to grab my scraper and I'm just going to burnish in everything. Okay, make sure it's all burnished in. Really good. Okay, and then you can go ahead and bring in your book, you know, for your creases. Get those all burnished in. Okay, just like that. Okay, so there's our book. So there is the start of our book, you guys. So really nice, clean edges, and really good. So the next thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and do our spine. Make the hinge part and go ahead and get this part in here covered. So that's what our next item is, and I will be right back.